Okay, to be serious, I just got some quick numbers from Google, okay, because I have my own estimates and over time, and I think people are studying this better and better. Some some estimates of how much it would take to get clean water in Africa are just ridiculous. They've been bidded by huge international companies with the intention of making something like a Chicago or a massive, uh, system, all integrated. And all we really need is wells. There's a water table, but they're drinking surface water. So for 15 billion, we could get clean water to half of the people in Africa that are going without it right now. Right? So, okay, for 15 billion. So in order to do that, okay, not to say, oh, every single person must have it, the last $1 billion spent on the last person because they're way in the boondocks. No. This half the people, 15 billion, that has to be as important as what? 15 thousandths as important as the Iraq War. If we thought it was just 15 thousandths as important as the Iraq War, we could get clean water to Africa. Look up the numbers for how much it would take to get people sustenance, okay? And then we know that just the sustenance isn't enough. How much does it take to make sure they have clean water so the kids can go to school, they have the basics of necessity? We're talking just one war. One war skipped, right? Or just a little bit less spent on every war because these other things are important to all of us. We could solve these problems. But you're saying that's impossible. Well, yeah, if you live in a world where war is the inevitable structure of mankind, then things are fucking pretty good. Considering this is a world of perpetual war, things are actually pretty good considering it has to be a shitty world of perpetual war forever. But guess what? It doesn't. We can totally stop war. No, it can't be done. Yes. And people say, no, conflict is natural. Yeah, conflict is natural. That doesn't mean war has to be the way we express conflict by any means. Okay, so just think about that. We just have to think that, okay, this is 1/1000th as important as one of these stupid wars, and we can solve a problem for a century in Africa. Wow. You know, and that's why, even various market anarchists are into this idea because whether they appreciate this mechanism that we might do it with government money, it's an investment. We would open up those markets instead of having to have war in those places in the future. Instead of a century from now we're fighting these wars in Africa. They could be productive this whole time and not even get to the point where we have to fight a war there. And that just has to be, 1,000th as important as the other wars we fight and things like this. And that's besides the technology I've been quoting. We know we're wasting food and social waste of food, where food rots in one part of the world when it's really cheap just to ship it somewhere that it's needed. But we don't. So yeah, I mean, that's the trump card I've been holding in reserve is the cost of war. There's no reason we couldn't take, 100%, really. Well, with some reasons we might challenge me on 100%, but we could certainly take 90% of the cost of war. Say the other 10% is on a global, peace activities, that there will be people that rise up that you might have to, a local warlord might become, a local leader might become a warlord, and yeah, it's still, you're going to have something that, even if you don't call it military spending, even if it's some sort of global police situation or whatever, sure, it costs some money. But all this money we're spending now? No, no. So that's the trump card. Take all the money spent on war, take 90% of that, and assume we have that to spend on other things, and tell me what the hell we can't do.